So, hello everyone, welcome to Fiaura. I was going to give you guys Alien Isolation yesterday. Then my video editing software crapped up while I was doing the yakking with Fiaura, and I ended up spending an extra 2 hours doing editing, which means I didn't have 2 hours to play. Was going to do it tonight. I got busy, and then when I looked up, went, oh crap, it's 11 o'clock, and I have class tomorrow. So, Alien Isolation got postponed 2 days, and I'm going to be recording it later tonight after the live stream. In the meantime, this triple creature feature, as it's called, are 3 tanks that technically never existed. The AMX-12T, the Batchat 25T, and the RHM. 3 vehicles that are all blueprint. But Wargaming decided, let's see what would happen if they really did actually exist. And therefore you have, well, these little vehicles. Now first we have Fog Carrier Hornet, who's been on my channel before. Really would love it if some new people would submit some stuff. Would be awesome. But, driving around in an AMX-12T. Now some new people did submit some stuff, but it's like, I can't use it. It's not very exciting, and you don't exactly do a lot. And to you, it might be a lot. Fine. But here, annotation is it's a link to a video that will show you what I kind of expect when I do these videos, and therefore determine who gets used. Now, a lot of people don't think this is a real issue, but the AMX-12T only carries 36 rounds and has to fight Tier 9 tanks. Let me say that again. You only carry 36 shells and you fight Tier 9 tanks. Now, Fog Hunter is obviously using a zoom mod because I can't get my zoom to go that far. Yeah, if you're curious about how Wargaming can tell if you're using mods or not when they ask for your replay, you can kind of see if someone's using mods when they zoom in like that and you go, that's not a standard zoom. That's not supposed to be how that works. He's got 5 left in the clip, which will be enough to kill that T-21 if he can get a shot on it. But he's being really cautious. Now, the big disadvantage to the 12T, unlike every other vehicle in the line, is it takes it a second to get up to speed. I don't know how you made that shot, but I'll take it. It really does honestly take it a moment before it gets going. Now once it gets going, it will do 65 kph, but you really gotta give it some space. And now he can't kill him. He's only got 2 shells left. This T-21 is going to come in here and finish the job. And he's reloading. Also, since the engine is front mounted and takes up most of the tank, I don't know how you fit 3 people in that tank. The T-21 there has 5. And it's cramped. What are you guys doing? Are you like contortionists? Look at how tiny this thing is to the T-21. Oh, it's gone. Look, even in the distance, that wrecked T-21 carcass is still bigger 100 meters away. Look at this. This thing is tiny. How do you fit 3 people in here? Ooh, 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 little T-21. Now, the thing about the T-21 is if you can stay alive, you can do a lot of damage. But you gotta stay alive. You only have 600 hit points. You're expected to fight Tier 9s. Possibly Tier... Just saying. And you don't do a lot of damage per shot. How he did not see that Jackson, I don't know. I'm just going to assume your commander's not 100% because you should have been seeing that Jackson move the entire time. The T-21 does, however, have the longest view range of any Tier 6 light tank, and it's not a loader. It's kind of like, my first autoloader is so cute, but it's wrong. Oh, shit. Oh, RHM with the big gun missed. All it's going to take is an RHM to reload and it'll vaporize him. But he takes half the RHM's hit points and then backs off, having to reload. Now the RHM should just come after him and kill him, but he doesn't. He should know this thing's an autoloader. It takes forever to reload. He should have came right after him and got his kill. Poor RHM. Now the RHM's running. And Fog is just assuming every time he spots something, he's spotted. When you don't have Sixth Sense, that's a good assumption. If you see something, it probably sees you. Just saying. See what I mean? Oh, he's moving through the cap circle. Is he gonna kill him? Kamikaze! You can see the gears working in my brain. Wait a minute. Kamikaze! Chaffee. He's gonna reload. And his engine was once again destroyed. Oh shit. And your engine's broken. Oh, Yag, why? Why do you have to make this easy? He's got 6 shells left. Can he beat up the Yag Tiger some more? Yes, he can. Oh. I guess that's getting away with murder right there when his friends finally come in and save him. But sadly, this is a defeat. Though he has dealt a massive, massive amount of damage for a little AMX-12T. But we're going to be moving on. Moving on to what, Fiaura? Well, we're going to be moving on to the middle of the road match here. And that is the Rheinmetall Borsig Waffenträger. I would use the 150 on this thing personally. And yes, I would probably fire heat shells. But the point is, if you need more than 215 penetration for something, you done fucked up. But it's your personal preference. If you like the 128, if you like the higher penetration, fine, take it. I personally would rather slap someone like a freight train with the 150. That's because I know how to use the 150 on this thing. Now I'm going to speed this one up a little bit because the Rheinmetall is not the fastest vehicle in the world. Look at that. He's being outrun by a VK36. Not to mention the engines in the front. Oh, sneaky shot. I think you missed. Because otherwise that T20, that T37 would have imploded. Ah. And he fires at the KV-4 and, well, I guess you missed the intended target again, but I'll take the satisfying hit. I mean, wouldn't you guys? KV4 says, I'm going to move forward just enough to piss you off. And he might do it again. Ooh. Or not. The KV4 eating 500 damage round. He's reloading his Borsig. KV4 still there. You're being shot at by a Rheinmetall Borsig, KV4. Can you not take the hint? Don't be this KV4. Seriously. Now, of course, the problem with the Rheinmetall is the same problem with the AMX-12T. Look at his ammunition count. He's already down to 22 rounds left. And you see how quickly the 128 reloads. So he is really in danger of actually running out of bullets. Now he's realized it. Was waiting for that. Oh god, why is the minimap so small? I swear it does this to me every time. He's realized it. He's realized it. He's realized it. He's realized it. His team is not behind him anymore. They're all dead. The JP2 screws up, but Listener Wolf does not. What's his name? Liskier? Liskier? Lisker Wolf. Is that actually German for something? Oof. Narrowly avoids the artillery shell, and there's another JP2. Now the advantage to the Rheinmetall over the JP2 in the Ferdinand is it does start out with this 128mm gun. As you can hear from the JP2 up there, who's still using the 88. You don't have to upgrade the gun. You got this from the Stuart Emile, Saint Emile as it's called in the US. He's carefully looking for shots because the Rheinmetall doesn't have a lot of armor, but he is playing it where he can actually shoot at stuff. Ooh. Ooh, IS tank just eats a shell. T-34. How much you want to try your luck? Obviously too much. Between the artillery and the Rheinmetall, you cease to exist, sir. Now at this point, I would be moving in on the IS tank. Go ahead, just soak the hit and go after it. But Lisker is not. He's playing his Borsig a bit too conservatively for my tastes. I would seriously go after those two heavy tanks right now. I know you don't have armor, but you have firepower, and a lot of it. I would be using that. You had plenty of time to reposition and shoot that T-29, and now he'd be coming up here and he would be a one-shot for you. And instead, you have sat still. Finally, he moves. Seriously. There are times when even the unarmored tank, it's time to advance. I use my Hellcat as a very aggressive weapon. It has no armor, but it has firepower. There you go. Oh, there it is. Kill him. Thank you. You saved your friend. Oof. Almost ate return fire. Now go kill the IS. Don't go that way. Oh, well, I guess you're going to take the conservative route. Which means I don't think you're going to save your artillery, which you need. Now again, if he'd been more aggressive about it, he might have taken a hit from the enemy Borsig, but at the same time, both those heavy tanks would already be dead, and he'd have his artillery still supporting him. Unfortunately, not the case. So in the future, remember this about your Borsig, guys. There are times when you were going to have to play a frontline tank. And it's not a bad idea to do it because you're a tiny target and you pack a hell of a punch. Go kill him! You're letting his buddies get up here. The prototype and the other Borsig are slow as piss. But you're going to sit here. You eat a shell. You kill the target. That guy must have also fired a high explosive round. Because that's a pretty big hit for an IS. That's a 442 point damage shot. That's a big hit for an IS. That must have been HE. You should have done that in the first place because he wouldn't have had time to reload if you just went in. And now it's a waiting game. They kind of know where you are. Right now, I would seriously reposition myself over to the Charlie 0 area. It's going to be a position nobody's going to expect me to be in. And that's impossible to creep up on. But he's positioned himself in the sniper's nest, which is a pretty predictable position. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets hit with artillery. I'm speeding this up because he's basically sitting here waiting on them to show up. And there they come. Now, I would have also considered loading a high explosive shell, because it's a 50-50 chance the Rheinmetall comes up. And if the Rheinmetall doesn't come up, you can still attempt to ring the prototype's turret. Kind of like shooting a basketball hoop, which is full damage. There's the prot. And if he were positioned over in the C0 area, he could take on the prototype without engaging the Borsig. Now, I know I'm critiquing, and I'm not trying to sound condescending. I'm trying to help your gameplay. When you're in a situation like this where you're the last holdout, seriously, that C0 position over there with all those trees is wonderful. If your turret wasn't already pre-aimed, you shouldn't have come out, especially with him having the 150. Sadly, that's another defeat. Good match. Good showing off of how to use the Borsig. Some critiquing needs to be done. But now we're going to move on to the other papery tank in this lineup. The Batchat. I will never understand why Borsig drivers are so unaggressive, because no one's anticipating a Borsig to be aggressive. And when you are aggressive, it throws them for a loop because they don't have their high explosive shell loaded. They're not ready for you, so to speak. And you can pop out, shoot, and pop back long before they can aim at you. So there's a good chance they'll miss most of their shots. So we have Caleb in the Batchat. With its incredibly long reload, but it does get 6 shells at 390 a pop. Well, 5 shells. And it only gets 30 of them. That's right, only carries 30 rounds. Which means you better make every one of them count, or you're going to find yourself running out of ammo. Of course, I've run out of ammo on my 57 Heavy before, so I can't really say the 57 Heavy carries an amazing amount of ammo either. Seems like a common theme with the autoloaders. You better make your shots count, because 1, you're going to be reloading forever. 2, you're only going to get so many shells total before you're just out. Goes for the track shot, which is exactly what you want to do. Retrack. 62A is now, well, I'm pretty sure he's dead. Yep, already killed it. Time to reload. And get out of here before that happens. This little tunnel right here is a perfect spot for enemy already to shoot at. It's too easy to get hit by artillery in here. You can't afford to sit here. The T-49 is actually heavier than you. Stop trying to push it. It's actually heavier than you. Silly batch hat driver. At least my T-49 is. My T-49 weighs almost 30 tons. Now this is by far not something the enemy wants. 2 autoloaders coming down behind them to outflank. Of course, the 57 Heavy blows his first shot and then doesn't sit up there and empty. But Caleb knows to move up and keep firing. 57 Heavy eats another shot. Caleb gets the killing blow and then immediately kills another tank. Surprise! You forgot I was a ninja, French batchat! The 57 Heavy, however, does not have the brain to realize the enemy has realized that you've been outflanked. There were 2 realizes in that statement. You must recognize when the enemy has turned their guns and know to back the fuck off. Otherwise, you end up like the 57 Heavy there. When the Jagdtiger shot him the first time, he should have just gone up and emptied his clip and taken most of the Jagdtiger's HP. Instead, he pulled back. And now Caleb has his eyes set on a Waffle. Poor Waffle. Who's now realized he's being shot at by a Batchat. Not a situation he wants to sit and just take. I also suggest that all Batchat drivers seriously drop your... I would recommend dropping your heat rounds and just running APCR, because I prefer the APCR to the heat anyway. But if you want to run heat, I'd suggest you run all heat, because Caleb is about to run into a situation where he doesn't have the APCR left to load a full clip. This is his last full clip of APCR. After that, he either loads heat or he loads 1 shell. Unlike the 57 Heavy, which I do carry a split ammunition load, but it's because the 57 Heavy reloads exceptionally quickly. The Batchat is a 40-second reload. Splitting your clip here can get you killed because you realize that you don't have the ammunition for a full clip of what you want. He wisely unlocks his target, because at this range a locked target is kind of pointless. And now he's firing at a locked target. The 57 Heavy actually has armor. He's got 2 shells left in the clip. He wants to kill that Patton and then reload. Not that I blame him. I would want to kill the Patton too. I would seriously only hit the reloading button in my autoloader when I'm actually reloading, not to tell people I only have 2 shells left. Now he's down to his last 2 clips. All of it heat. And in an autoloader, I really recommend, especially tier 10, premium medkit, premium fire extinguisher, because it'll protect your crew. And in an autoloader, that's very important because everyone counts as a loader. If you're missing anyone, your reload speed is cut. Caleb, I hate to break this to you, you're probably the spotter here. Because your IS-7 ain't doing it. Excuse me. Your Leopard is kind of suicidally crazy. And your T-92 and E4 most certainly aren't going to go spot. Also, tier 10 tanks, paint them. Even if you pay for temporary paint, please paint them. The extra 5% to your camouflage rating will save your ass. And there is a noticeable difference. Like my T-62 getting spotted at 160 meters from behind the bush versus 180. I'll take the extra 20 meters of safety. Or being able to move out in the open field at 300 meters instead of having to make sure I'm 350 away. Again, I will take the extra little bit of safety and the difference in spotted and dead and alive and kicking. Now he's got a perfect opportunity if that enemy waffle isn't here. And there's an E4. And he tunnel visioned. Ooh, you almost tunnel visioned it right into 750 damage to your face. That was close. Don't auto aim. You're going to need to manually aim these shots. It's an E4. Even with heat shells, you're still going to need to manually aim these shots. Now you can auto aim. You've got him on the side. There's the tracking shot. He's going for the engine deck to try to set a fire. Ah, last shot is a monster low roll, and the E4 is still alive. I wouldn't ram in a bad chat against an E4. 70 tons, 25 tons, dead bad chat. Just saying. He's loading his last clip, by the way. After these 5 shots, he's out, basically, because he's got 2 APCR. Yeah, split ammunition might be biting you in the butt right now. He's wisely using his IS-7 for cover from the 57 Heavy, and now he's going in at him, knowing the 57 Heavy is likely reloading. And there's the kill. So, you would be loading 3 rounds if you didn't split your ammo. Instead, by the way, at no point in this match has he needed heat. All of his shots at heavy tanks and armored tank destroyers have been at the side armor. Except for the 57 Heavy, he bounced the upper plate anyway, but his heat shell wouldn't penetrate that to begin with. At no point in this match has he actually needed a heat round. Don't come out till you're actually loaded. That waffle could have stayed there and fired another shot, and that would have meant you could have fired. Problem with the autoloaders is until they're actually loaded, don't you show yourself. Also, it's a big risk that Artie wasn't pointed at that IS-7 ready to blast it. Waffle's done gone and run. You know he has. Oh, God. Oh, shit. Oh, you done fucked up. Autoloader. Biggest rule. At point blank range, make sure every single shot counts. All that waffle's got to do is get around on you and you're dead. Oh, well. I guess the T-92 has something to say about that. And the E4 finishes off the enemy Artie before he loads his last shell. That split ammunition nearly cost you your ass. Just saying. Alright. So, let's take a look at the stats for these 3 matches. Now here's something I'm going to start doing. Is I'm actually going to be showing you guys my watt lap stats for the day. So today I ran 3100, my recent's 3116. Woohoo! Climbing on up there. I really want to make this 3300 before the next league season starts. In the meantime, Foghorn Carriers defeat with a kamikaze! 2100 damage out of the little 12T, whose average damage is 115. 30 shells fired, 25 hits, 20 penetrations. Good job. Not a bad shot with the autoloader. 735 XP taken to the garage. 16,000 credits. Didn't really spend that much because it's little 75mm rounds. They're dirt cheap. And the ponage on the Borsig and the Yagtig 88. Awesome stuff. Rheinmetall Borsig. Apparently his very first game in his Rheinmetall Borsig. running 4,000 damage, 5 kills, almost 1,000 raw XP, actually taking home 1,704 experience points, 24,000 credits. Not a bad job. I would seriously consider being a little more aggressive when the time is called for it. Try to save some of your allies next time, and you might have turned this into a win. Also, that C0 area is a much better holdout position than the sniper's basket. And lastly, we have Caleb in the Batchat, getting his first mark of excellence, pulling a high caliber, and 10,000 WN8. 8,400 damage issued, 4 kills, and a total of 2,182 XP, as well as 32,000 credits to the garage. I would seriously consider dropping the heat ammunition, and I would upgrade your kits. But I would seriously, because that heat ammo cost you way too. This could have been an awesome credit gain match, and instead you sprayed heat at the end because you ran out of APCR. I would seriously consider dropping the heat ammo because it didn't help you at all. And I watched your other replay, by the way, and again, the heat ammo didn't help you at all. It was completely unnecessary. That's my opinion. If you want to keep the heat, go with it. But in the meantime, that's all I have for you guys today. I'm sorry I don't have Alien Isolation. I ran out of time today. As you can see, it's like 11:49, and I have class tomorrow. However, I hope you guys have enjoyed this triple creature feature of 3 paper tanks. And I hope to see you in the next replay. But in the meantime, please like and share this video, as well as check out these other 2 videos. You might find you enjoy them as well. In addition to this, please check out the patronage page or click on the fan funding button. I would appreciate all the tips I can get, as they are literally the only reason I'm still able to run this channel. And I will see you guys in the next video. But in the meantime, this is Fiaura, officially signing off. Bye-bye, guys. But I can work with it. Now, for those who don't know, this is a very early model Tiger. This is like one of the first model Tigers that was supposed to be shipped to Japan, which is why it has the L56 88mm. The late war Tigers all had the L77 88mm. And I'm about to pull a seriously dirty bullshit move on this map. See, if you can get through this before the enemy gets in position, you can drive right up here, and that position that all those light and medium tanks like, yeah, they're not happy. Hi, my name's Heavy Tank number 6. This is going to suck for you. Now, this tank was bought for me as a gift, and I have to give a shout out to Hetty. You are just... you're like the best subscriber in the world. So far. I may be lightweight are really hard to get because basically the bronze, silver, and gold league players all play the damn thing. He gets the order to fall back, and oof, eats a freaking heavy tank round in the ash. That's not cool. That was almost 400 points of damage to the ash. Oh, there's a permanent tank corpse there that you can't move, even if it only weighs 15 tons. Oh. Oh. That hurt. Poor lightweight, just getting beat up out here. I don't think Chris Play's actually watching where he's going because he's got shots. There he goes. Finally puts one out. See, a very inauspicious start.